So just shadowing the shot. So the same drill where you're going to be looking to touch the jab and you're moving out of the way. But now instead of just being in this defensive mindset, you're using this to download the data, yeah? So I'm looking around, I'm seeing what's going on. I'm seeing what shots they normally throw back when I do engage. Then when I've got the read and I know the shot's on, then I'll look to counter and throw a more high-paced, bigger score off, yeah? So you're going to work in these phases where phase one is just going to be my defense and I'm just reading. I'm just looking for single scores and staying safe here. I'm just seeing how they're reacting, yeah? Keeping my base underneath me. Then when I know a shot's on, then I'll fire into a second phase and build from there, okay? So start to look for those shots and create those opportunities, all right? Yeah, look, sometimes I want your partner to throw a jab, sometimes I want them to throw a hook. So you're starting to get the read of how your opponent moves and then looking to counter specific shots, yeah? Rather than it just being very monotonous here where I know this shot's come in and I'm moving in that direction. I want a little bit of creativity, fakes here, I'm touching, I'm moving. Then when I know a certain shot's on, then I'll look for a counter, yeah? Okay, so we'll build off that, all right? Let's go. But if you're in a position where you know you range real well, as opposed to knowing what shots come in, does that make sense? So if I don't know what shots come in, but I'm good at controlling range, so even if he throws a hook, like, if he throws the hook, but I can't understand if he's going jab or hook, I don't really want to slip, you know what I mean? But if I know if he throws a hook or a jab, but I can glide out of the way and I can understand range, then I'll look to pull out the way, and then I'll look to counter. If I know that he's going to go for a jab, then I can look to slip. Does that make sense? But if you're fighting someone who's real tricky with this like lead hand and they're maybe baiting you into kicks and shots, then I wouldn't look to take my head off the center line. I would look to just move in a safe position in and out. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, we'll add on one more time and then we'll get into some specific drills, yeah? So now the same thing, but I want your partner to be able to throw any attack, and one person's going to focus on defense, and then we'll switch roles, okay? So again, this is an easy way to see that this stance and this base is going to get you out of the way of any shot. If sometimes you're struggling, like knowing if you should slip to counter or you should pull to counter, the easy way for me to understand is like, if I definitely know a straight shot's coming or a jab's coming, then I'm going to look to take my head off center line, stay in this position, and I can counter. If someone's real tricky, say with their lead hand, and you don't know if they're going to throw a jab, a hook, a left high kick, then you don't really want to be taking your head off your center line and coming into a vulnerable position. So that's where, for me, it's always better to keep your feet safe and use that to come in and out, okay? So now a partner's going to throw any shots, so we can throw jabs, crosses, hooks, round kicks, and I'm just looking to use my feet to stay out of the way, okay? So I'm not looking to slip too much or be inside, I'm just looking to stay safe. As soon as I do come out of range, I'm looking to cover that range again though, all right? So I'm not giving them momentum by attacking and me just covering ground and then being out here and now they're covering space. The second that, say, I move out of the way of the jab with my feet, I'm looking to then push back into this range, yeah? So I'm not giving them the momentum and the space to come forward, yeah? They're not like they're pressuring me. I'm effortlessly moving out of the way of the shots, but then I'm still coming back into range, yeah? So my presence is still there, I can still push forward. But so your partner's gonna attack, and I just want you in a solid base here, and just moving out of the way, yeah? Just keeping this ground here. And then when you see an opportunity, then look for a counter, all right? So now thinking a little bit more, there's more attacks to think about, and then looking for a big score off that, okay? Last one, and then we'll get into some specific drills, okay? Let's go. Just that base. I think your foundations and your base is what's going to allow you to be creativity. Yeah, have creativity, have flow, and that's where you're going to shine. But the defense and being comfortable in defense, that's what's going to give you a composure, and that's what's going to actually allow you to like unlock all those things, you know, all coming from that feet up. But if you've got shinies, just whack shinies on. If not, we're going to start drilling some kicks in that, yeah? Just don't blast your partner's head off with no shin pads on. If everyone's back on, yeah? Okay, so again, like I say, footwork for me is like the most important thing of everything. It can get you out of trouble and get you straight back into trouble. But if I can use it to defend well, I can also use it to attack well, okay? And footwork for me is very subtle, okay? So it's not like huge movements and kicking my feet around. It's very subtle movements coming in and out of range. So like I say before, if the jabs come in, this is all I need to be coming out of range, yeah? So this is real good footwork that's actually gonna keep me safe, okay? Now it's the same when I'm attacking. If I'm in a position here and I'm just out of range, right? So if I'm here and I can't really hit with this lead leg, All I have to do from here is glide this back leg up underneath me a tiny fraction, and now I'm completely in range to be able to bring the shin over the head, right? So if I'm controlling distance with my lead hand, but I know I'm out of range for this inside kick, all I have to do from here is bring this back leg subtly underneath me from here, and it's another way of disguising it when my opponent's not going to see it. You see a lot of people, like if I'm throwing my lead leg, they'll throw a big switch kick, but there's a huge tell before I even go, okay? So there's like a red light before I even do anything that a shot's coming in, and it puts them in a position to defend or get out of the way. It's almost like me getting ready to throw a shot and then swinging here, okay? For me, it's like a bit of a waste of movement and too much of a tell. So I like to hide it with my footwork. So I'll use this rear leg. I'll distract, and I'll control with my lead hand as a distraction, and then from here, I bring the back leg underneath me and I can ping the left high, yeah? The position for my back leg, okay, I can still put it in the exact same position I'd put it in the switch kick. So I can still bring my leg behind me and generate power, okay? So all I'm doing with a switch is putting myself into this position where my leg's behind me. I'm now rotated on this foot and I can whip through. I'm doing the exact same thing, but just with a subtle step here, and then I can ping over. It just hides it, okay? So my body language is a lot different. I'm a lot more relaxed here. I'm just setting a rhythm, and then I break the rhythm and I can fire. As opposed to being here, switching before I even do anything and then banging it, all right? So same again, I want you to focus on the base, the footwork. But when you're ready, you just slide this underneath your base here, okay? So I slide this right leg underneath, and then I transition my weight into my back leg, and I can fire the left kick high over into the head, all right? So from here, I'm out of range, I can't hit anything. From here, all I have to do is bring this back leg marginally behind me, minimal here, and now I'm on range, yeah? So here, out of range, can't touch anything. Back leg moves tiny, I can fire, yeah? I can fire to the body, I can fire to the head, okay? All just from this, yeah? So have a little play with that. The back leg is behind me, I'm in my base where I can move. As soon as I'm ready, it glides underneath my hip, and now from here, my range is there. Okay, have a little play around with that, and then we're going to look at options from that same mechanical movement, all right? Let's go. Yeah, same thing. Yeah, exactly the same. It's just this coming underneath. Yeah.
Yo, what's going on, guys? So just a reminder, if you are enjoying the things that we're teaching in this, you're enjoying the concepts, the methods, the tricks that we're teaching, then we do have an online space where I personally teach all these things. Hours of content, community, live calls, where I'm able to jump in and help you with any problems that you've got. The link, again, is in the description below. So let's get back to the video.
What's that, brother?
Any combination with your left hand?
Yeah, just creativity, yeah. Just the same thing, yeah. Faking, movement, touching. Just finding your range and just like disrupting your opponent, you know? So just here where I'm thinking about position, but maybe I'm out of range a little bit. Put myself out of range and then marginally put myself in and just fire there, yeah. All right, bro. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. There you go. From here, I can stay in the same position by pendulum in. I can kick, I can draw forward if I know I want to advance after. Or I can hit and I can return to southpaw, I can step, and then that's going to give me range. So it's all depending on where I want to be after. If I want to be in the same spot, pendulum, same range. If I want to advance, I will draw down and fire. If I want to get the fuck out of the way, then I draw back. And I come from southpaw to orthodox and I create loads of space. Yeah, right there. So that's something I'm going to go over in a minute. I'm trying to keep my posture as high as possible so there's no tell. Like if I start leaning back here, you automatically know a kick's coming. Whereas if I can keep this position here and I can almost like, we're going to go over elevating with a knee first so we can like chop over. So then it becomes a point of like, I can be here and I can be going to the body, I can be kicking low, I can be kicking the head, but it's hard to tell from the posture. If every time I lean back, it's obvious what I'm going to do, you know? Yeah. Okay, so just a quick little detail on that kick then, and then this is going to allow you to find other shots from it. So if you're kicking and every time that I go for a high kick, even if I am being subtle with my range and hiding the position, and I'm leaning every time, it's real easy to see from my posture and the position that I'm creating that I'm going to kick to the head, yeah? One, it's going to be obvious, it's similar to the switch. It's like I'm giving a tell. My body changes before the shot goes, okay? The other thing is it's gonna put me in a bad position sometimes. Unless I'm setting it up, there is a time and a place where I can lean back into these shots, but if I'm just throwing it in singular motion, then I wanna keep a good posture, okay? So I don't wanna break my position and give a tell. So an easy way to do this is we lift our knee high first, okay? So it can be, if I kick with a straight leg, this is a very karate style technique, yeah? So as I'm here, I kick up, all right? But we wanna integrate like a time motion where we're actually driving through the head at the same time, okay? I can do this by elevating my knee and keeping a good posture. Now from this position, instead of me kicking up, from here I can still engage and kick my hip through, okay? And it allows me to keep my posture and my position right. Now, if I can keep my posture right and I can kick to the head from here with no tell, this also allows me to kick to the leg, to the body, to the head, with the exact same position, so it's hard to read. And this goes for the same for the rear leg, yeah? So if I'm here and I have the exact same position that I kick to the calf, I kick to the leg, I kick to the body, the head, yeah? I can question mark from the same position, stab. It all comes from the same tell. So then it becomes hard to read. And it's hard to know if you're gonna go low, mid, high, wherever, yeah? So the same way that we want to hide our punches and be very subtle with our shots so they're hard to read is the same way I want to be with my kicks. So as I'm here, focus on trying to keep a good posture. So the same position, I elevate my knee before I do anything. If the knee goes high, then it's easy for me to kick and follow through, all right? So have a little play with that. Try and keep the posture the same. Try not to lean back. And your first port is focus on the knee elevating, and then you can generate and kick through, okay? The other thing is like the knee elevation. So as I kick into this position, same thing, you don't know if it's coming through the body, if it's coming to the head, if I'm elevating here and changing my angle. Again, it's all the exact same position, but the outcome is different, okay? So have a little play with that, all right? And then we'll build off there, okay?